The violin is one of the most famous classical musical instruments and is used in most orchestral performances. With its beautiful and recognizable sound, it has become a symbol of classical music. In this video, we will examine the history and invention of the violin. The violin was made in Italy in the 16th century. Andrea Amati, perhaps the greatest instrument maker in history, made the first violin in the city of Cremona. Violins were widely used in the 17th and 18th centuries and quickly became one of the most popular orchestral instruments. The violin is made of wood and has 4 strings. Generally, the violin consists of 3 parts: the neck, the body, and the scroll. The neck is the part of the instrument that holds the strings and affects the sound of the instrument. The body of the instrument is the part that produces the sound. Finally, the scroll is the part of the instrument that includes several keys and a peg box that the player can use to adjust the sound settings. Due to its portability and the sound it produces, the violin quickly became popular in classical music communities. While the first violin was made in Italy, it was widely used throughout Europe. The violin is one of the most important musical instruments in the history of classical music. Due to its portability and the sound it produces, many musicians have chosen it as their primary instrument. Throughout history, many instrument makers have tried to improve the violin and make it one of the best instruments. But the violin still remains the same and is still used as the principal instrument in orchestral performances. There are many famous violinists who have made significant contributions to classical music throughout history. In the following, we will introduce some famous violinists. Stay tuned. One. Niccolò Paganini, an Italian violinist and composer who lived in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. He is known for his virtuosic playing and innovative techniques, which have influenced generations of violinists. 2. Jaska Heifetz, a Russian-born American violinist who lived in the 20th century. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest violinists of all time and is known for his precision, technical skill, and emotional depth. 3. Itzhak Perlman, an Israeli-American violinist who has been active since the 1960s. He is known for his expressive playing and has become a cultural icon, appearing on television shows and in movies. 4. Hilary Hahn, an American violinist who began performing professionally at a young age. She is known for her virtuosic playing and has premiered many new works by contemporary composers. 5. Joshua Bell, an American violinist who has been active since the 1980s. He is known for his beautiful tone and expressive playing, and has appeared as a soloist with many of the world's leading orchestras. These are just a few examples of the many talented violinists who have contributed to classical music over the years. The violin is one of the most popular orchestral instruments that is used in many different styles of music. In this article, we will discuss the various parts of the violin and how it is played. The violin consists of 4 main parts: the lower bout, also known as the belly, the sound post, the neck, and the upper bout, also known as the scroll. Each part of the violin plays a specific role in producing the sound of the instrument. To play the violin, a bow is typically used, which produces sound by moving across the strings of the violin. The bow should move parallel to the neck and at an appropriate distance from the strings during playing. Additionally, to produce a better sound, the bow should apply even pressure to the strings, lower bow. This part is used to keep the violin in place on the player's knee. Additionally, during playing, the sound produced from the lower bout is reflected, which helps to increase the volume of the sound post. The sound post is a part that connects the strings to the neck. The strings of the violin are made of metal, and when pressure is applied to them with the bow, they vibrate. Neck. The neck is where the player's fingers are placed to change the notes of the violin. Each of the 5 fingers produces a different note. Upper bout. The upper bout, scroll, is a curved part at the top of the violin's body, and during playing, the sound produced from the strings is transmitted to the player's ear through this part. Finally, given that the violin is one of the most widely used musical instruments, learning to play it professionally requires practice and effort to improve playing techniques.